And hello again, YouTube. So it's 8:19 p.m. Friday, May 6th, 2022. Back in my car. Got the clock set. It's about a half a minute fast. I was trying to get it set precisely to the second. I don't remember exactly how to do that, so it's a little bit fast. If memory serves, that thing loses time just a little bit, so it'll be dead on soon enough, and then it'll be behind. You know, I was in the process of replacing that stereo before I blew the engine on the car, and my old life just kind of took a turn for, oh shit, I'm a pedestrian. And now I totally don't remember like what I did with everything I was going to put in it. I know I had the stereo that came with my CRX set aside somewhere, and I had bought an installation kit, and if memory serves, I still needed to get a harness adapter to run that stereo directly into the harness of the Saturn, since everything's good with the harness on the Saturn. Anyway, I guess I can work on that project again, right? So just rolling out of Bullock's. The problem with the PA was basically a loose power plug. It wasn't the one I was thinking it might be, that I occasionally bump with my microphone case, though. So as far as, you know, I mean, there's no point in pinning blame on anybody, but as far as like what caused it to be not working today, and while it was working just fine yesterday, is kind of beyond me. So most everything that's in the PA there, it's mounted in a rack, like a portable rack, and there's a power conditioner everything runs through. And so basically I just, you know, there's no power at the power conditioner, so I just basically started by following the power cord that feeds the power conditioner, and it went to an outlet strip, and was just the plug going into the outlet strip was just a little bit loose. Like I plugged it in a little more firmly and saw a spark arc, which is always a little unnerving, and then everything powered up. So, you know, what caused that to become loose? Who knows? I'm not fond of the way that the cord is connected. It's just kind of hanging. So it's my understanding that the owner and his wife are on vacation right now. But when they get back, now that I finally have my car, I definitely want to talk to them about seeing if I can get some extra pay to basically just renovate that just redo all of that. I mean, I'm not sure if they're down to pay me for that, but it certainly wouldn't hurt to ask. And it's just so many just cords everywhere, and it's, by my standards, it's a mess, and I feel like that mixer should be replaced. Now, I did mention a couple of weeks ago that I had a problem with the PA, and to be honest, it really hasn't been resolved. I've just kind of resigned to it being somebody else's problem. Now, the problem was twofold. Part of it was I had my, and this is a little embarrassing, but I had my mixer, the outputs I was using to run to their mixer, I had that wrong. Instead of it being on the, there's a stereo line out that I send, because I don't have any easy way to run mono from my system to their system. Anyway, instead of running the left and right output onto the stereo line, I was using the right and the pre-out. So that explains why my levels were uneven and why it was not why that was not right. The speaker doesn't change the fact the speakers above the stage have no high end because the tweeters are gone. they're blown. There's just no sound coming out of the tweeters. And personally, I don't feel those speakers are really worth repairing. But I don't know. Something I got to talk to the owner about. I mean, I guess I don't have to. I could just keep dealing with it the way it is. But I would like to get that taken care of. So the weird shimmy I had earlier, that seems to have gone away. I looked at my tires. I didn't see anything obviously wrong with them. Of course, it was dark, and I only get so much light off the flashlight on my cell phone. So I do think I need to kind of tomorrow morning. So 8:25 p.m. now, so it's kind of late to be trying to handle anything car related. And it seems to be driving just fine right now. But I do think tomorrow would be worth the effort to go to Discount Tire and have them look over my tires, and go to AutoZone and get some new wiper blades, and go to Costco and top off the gas tank. I mean, it seems to be running just fine on the gas that's in here, but it's a little unsettling to know that gas has just been sitting for 7.5 months. So it'd be nice to at least have some fresh gas, mixed in with it. So yeah, as far as what I'm doing tonight, I don't have any plans. Like, I mean, I guess I was expecting to get my car today, but as far as I don't know. I'm overwhelmed by my newfound freedom. I did pop into after I left my insurance agent today. I took the Route 29 to 32nd Street, and then took the Route 32 to Rob's shop, and had about 18 minutes to kill waiting for the 32 South. As I've stated before, the Route 29 in the daytime, at least between 44th Street and I want to say, I'm not sure what avenue, 59th Avenue, 51st Avenue, I'm not sure. But anyway, through the center of Phoenix, the frequency of the Thomas bus is really decent. Like, I'm not sure exactly how often it runs, but it's something you don't really have to wait long for. Unfortunately, not every route in Phoenix is that well serviced, and 32 going down 32nd Street, which eventually connects to 40th Street in South Phoenix, is one of those that only runs every 30 minutes. Unlike a lot of the other routes that run every 30 minutes, Route 32 is usually pretty consistently on time, so at least it's got that going for it. Once again, got on an articulated bus that didn't have enough people in it to justify it. And sometimes I wonder about those routes, like how much it costs for them to run those articulated buses. I mean, they've got to be expensive to drive and expensive just to maintain. I mean, they're huge, and I would imagine it takes a special certification on the drivers to drive them. So those drivers, I would imagine, cost more. And it seems to me that like that bus would be better served. I mean, here it's running every 30 minutes, and at one point I was the only one on that bus. I don't think there was ever more than 3 other people on that bus with me, and I'm thinking, God, why do we have this obscenely high capacity bus running this route that doesn't have that many people on it? It almost seems like that route would do better if it was running a short bus every 20 minutes. And by a short bus, I mean like I'm not sure what the technical term is for it, but like a shuttle bus, like what's commonly used to run between hotels and the airport. In other words, not a full-size bus. And it's easy for transit companies to laugh at that and go, well, that's not a real bus. That's not a real bus. What makes it not a real bus? I mean, you could put exactly the same fare box in it that goes in every other Valley Metro bus. You could put the same, information scroller on it and the same pull chains in it. When I'm on RFUC cars talking about, pedestrian-friendly infrastructure in different places where one can live without being dependent on a car, I've often stated that of all the places that I've ever lived, the one place I lived most conveniently without a car, never had a car the entire time I lived there, and don't feel like my lifestyle suffered in the slightest from not having a car, and that was Jackson, Wyoming. Jackson, Wyoming, when I lived there, and I have no idea what it's like now. I mean, you know, I was 20 and 21 when I lived there, so that was a long freaking time ago. You know, that was over 30 years ago. But at the time, it had a pretty decent bus service that consisted of only 2 routes. Those 2 routes ran nearly 24 hours a day. Now, granted, late at night, the frequency was not very often. I think at one point it dropped only to hourly. So you did have to kind of make some effort if you wanted to take that bus. But in the daytime, I think it was like every 10 or 15 minutes. And the buses they used were those little short buses. They weren't full-size municipal buses. They were little shuttle buses. But it got the job done. And I would imagine it's a whole lot less expensive to purchase and less expensive to operate. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't even need a CDL to drive one of those. So there's that. Anyway, I don't know why that's on my mind today, but it's just occurred to me that a lot of these bus routes that, granted, don't have a lot of usage, could probably be serviced a lot less expensively and a lot better if they ran just small buses, but with more frequency. Just a thought. I'm not the one that crunches the numbers, you know, for that, and I don't know the actual numbers, but it's just a thought. Anyway, wow, it's kind of overwhelming to get home from Bullock so quickly. I shot a whopping 12 minutes of video, and I started in the Bullock's parking lot and rolled a little video before I even pulled out of the parking lot. And here I am, almost home. Something that I've grown accustomed to taking roughly 2 hours on the bus. And not to mention the time that I spend waiting for that first bus. Anyway, not sure what I'm doing tonight. As I mentioned earlier, I went by. Had a bus transfer where I had to wait quite a while for the 32 at 32nd Street in Thomas, and I saw something that shook me a lot more than I thought it would shake me, and that is a memorial that was made for Jesse, the cook over at the Hideaway. I do want to include that on a video soon. There's no point in going there now. It'd be too dark to really see it, but yeah, somebody took a bicycle, and in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it was his bicycle, although it's probably not. I would imagine his bicycle was destroyed in the wreck that killed him. But somebody took a bicycle similar to the style that he had and painted it white, put white tires on it, and made a memorial right there on the corner where he was struck at 32nd and 32nd and Thomas in front of the Chevron. I was walking over the Chevron because I had a little bit of time I had some time to kill waiting, for my bus transfer, and I figured I'd go over there and just get myself something to eat and a bottle of tea while I waited, since I was kind of thirsty, and didn't expect to see that memorial that had been made for Jesse. And when I saw it, I just got flooded with a lot of images of just times that I'd seen him, times that I talked to him, and just his smiling face behind the grill. The guy always had a killer smile, and always seemed really happy to be around people. And even though I never really knew him personally, like, just seeing that and thinking, yeah, riding a bicycle across Thomas is something that can kill you. And to my knowledge, they never did catch the person that did it. It's still a hit and run. Anyway, I just saw it, and I was already kind of emotionally rattled today, and I just started bawling, and it shook me up. Meanwhile, City of Phoenix wants to gloat about the fact that they, hey, look at us, we added bike lanes on Fillmore from 7th Street to Central Avenue, 1st Street to 7th Street, whatever. It's like, whoop-de-doo. You added bike lanes on a street that was already plenty safe to ride a bicycle on. How about you do something about Strode's, like 32nd Street and Thomas, where people get killed trying to ride a bicycle home from work? Do something about that, Mayor Kate. Sort of bragging about something that was completely unnecessary and doesn't really change anything for the people who cycle as a mode of transportation. Anyway, I'm almost home. Wow. Such a life-changing thing, being able to get home. And oh gosh, how much video have I rolled here? 16 minutes. 16 minutes. Something I've become accustomed to taking 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's sad how bad public transit is here in this city, and something really does need to be done about it.